According to my calculations, based upon these antics that have happened just in the fourth of four times to sabotage my efforts at gainful employment, that was offered, but that was apparently offered in bad faith. I have been defrauded out of a minimum total of $21,551.64. Of that, $18,294.72 would have gone to what would have been my understanding, both literally and also uh, potentially concurrently, in a system where there was informed consent as well as the appropriate security necessary to make sure it happened safely. That would go toward a $13,256.07 investment in materials for and in connection with what would have been my understanding of an appropriate natural health care plan that has a specific element of it associated with both me personally and the potential for supporting somebody else that may need, shall we say, somebody who has greater ability, including financially, to contribute, and would also have gone toward me doing what I needed to do to get the course materials as well as the official verifiable hard copies of standards manuals, and to do training, both training on site at one and two virtual trainings connected to safety related to radiation and radiation safety. Why would those be complementary? For a variety of reasons, up to and including the fact that my personal human capital and history, my background, has plenty to offer in doing both of those things successfully, modestly, but successfully. The additional $5,038.65 after a year were the budget to be adhered to, and there not to be any sort of efforts at an emergency uh, 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 requirement to divert funds elsewhere, could have been put into a bond that could then be a actual official bond connected to surety, for instance, perhaps on my LLC, or in some endeavor, including a corporate endeavor or some other endeavor that would need a bond for some form of self insurance or some sort of insurance in connection with the elements that had been in development. I.e., my understanding is that certifications, for instance, are a securitizable or a form of security. If you needed insurance on the security involving a bond, there would be $5,000 available as part of a contribution to a bond on the securities associated with my recertification, which is what the safety course was in consideration of. Then there is an additional $2,232.84 in taxes and benefits associated with the employment that would be taken out. And then I have also been defrauded of what were the $1,024.08 that I would have been able to make in payments in order to establish credit after not having any verification of income and or repayment on past debt in order to accumulate credit based upon what is available right now on my credit record that I can access. Anything else that I may have owed for in the past has been conveniently erased from my record, as well as the fact that I twice protested acts of fraud put on my credit record and they were removed, including a $500 credit card from Chase Bank that was used in acts of fraud connected to the Houston municipal bond that I also understand was connected to defrauding the city of Houston Fire Department in connection with allowing for their litigation to be used as a derivative for reporting on the municipal bond during a time when there was speculation going on and there was crime going on in acts of pension fraud connected to the Houston Police Department. So those aren't on my credit record. And the capacity to get any information on any alleged loans that I may not have been responsible with is also not on my credit record. Now, if I had been able to be availed of my rights to due process, there may be some way to address that. But I have been prevented from contacting or getting any contact from two of the three credit bureaus. And the one that does provide any record that I have any credit history has me owing less than $1,000 in debt, which could be paid off within 6 months, so that then, if necessary, I could take that 6 months to establish some credit in time to have credit at a modest amount developed in time for next year. Now, in addition, what has not been accounted for in here is an additional monthly amount that would have been available to pay on what would have been considered rent or access to the resources that I get by living in here. I'd already talked to him about that. This is the kind of thing that I'm supposed to be doing, right? Now, my understanding is it's a different thing. Legally, it's different. Functionally, it's different. I'm actually entitled to a substantial amount more. And that parts of these involve a particular kind of concession on my part, or a particular kind of ceding that is not only unconstitutional but is distasteful and doesn't actually deliver the optimized and the optimal possibilities. But this is the basic minimum that needs to occur ASAP. I need to have verification on this budget right now. This is what I've already been defrauded. I could have done it. I am doing it. I'm doing much, much more. That would have been the what is all. What else is accrued? What else has this demonstrated has accrued in terms of bad faith that didn't come from me? Because then we have to deal with all of the other stuff that's on the clipboard right here. And the thing is, none of the things that were leveraged on trying to frame me that, as I am correct, did not succeed, can have any chance of anything positive coming from it if this doesn't get taken care of. There was no rational, reasonable explication. Even if you were going to say, well, you've signed away your rights to due process in a court, so you're going to have to go through some mediation. Mediation? I never agreed to settle for mediation. This is without being able to make enough money and support myself and have any possibility for my life that would also allow for me to actually file charges and have access to a means of some restitution for actual crimes I was subjected to, the actual crimes I saw other people subjected to. This is the lowest basic standard possible. $21,551.64 plus $300 a month for 12 months, which is $3,600. So that is $25,151.64. Do you understand? That's what it would be.